There, my name is Chris, and for the Starknet hackathon, I put together an app called ZkPages. Now, some of you might be familiar with digital content stores like Gumroad that more or less let consumers create digital stores to sell content to followers or other people on the web. Now, the problem with these sites is that they're very centralized. You don't necessarily get a transparent view into the database. They require a large engineering team, and there's a flat rate fee that often is unavoidable in these scenarios. So I wanted to see if I could use Starknet and a couple other technologies to create a platform where any consumer could come on and create their own single page digital content store with minimal effort. And the way this works is you come to the site and you can connect your Starknet wallet using any of the platforms, and this is powered by Dynamic. Once that's connected, you are now able to create storefronts and look up existing ones. And let me show you how this works. From Create Storefront, you can specify a few different things and define what you want to sell and what you want the store to be called. You'll notice I have some demo data here, but you could put any sort of content and have a redirect URL for each of the different items you're looking to sell, as well as a price that you want different people to pay in order to access a particular link. But once you're comfortable with the data, you can create the page. And what this does behind the scenes is it deploys a contract to the Starknet network, and every store gets its own contract, as well as its own history. Every transaction that gets posted against that page gets saved almost as a ledger or its own receipt network on the Starknet network. Once the transaction is successful, there's a couple links that get generated. And note, this can take a few minutes for the transaction to confirm on the network before the site is available. Link to the contract deployment. And you'll notice as more folks come to the site and actually complete transactions, there will be more account calls and different transactions to this contract over time that almost serve like receipts. The second URL is the store itself. And so I'm authenticated already, but you would be able to share this URL. And so I was on localhost here, but this is actually deployed as well if you go to the Vercel app. And you're able to complete purchase of any of these content items and get redirected once that transaction is successful. So if I went ahead and said, okay, I want to purchase this piece of content, I can go ahead and sign a transaction here, and you'll immediately be able to access the content and get redirected to the URL, as well as view the transaction on the Sepolia network. Additionally, whenever there's a transaction against the chain, there's a transaction from a given smart contract address. And so in this case, I can pull my wallet address and see that there was a transaction just now that went against that function to do a purchase item call on that contract, as well as different other invocations that that address may have done in the past, as well as the contract information. And this is all pulled from Voyager and natively within the app. And so as more people are making transactions, you more or less can share this on the web in your profile and have people complete transactions facilitated through Starknet smart contracts and not have to go through centralized parties in order to essentially create a paywall around digital content. As for the code, it's available on my GitHub. I encourage you to check it out. But that's pretty much the ZkPages project, and thanks for your time.